All right, big news in the USFL today. The USFL and BJCC have reached a tentative MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, to bring the relaunch season to Birmingham, Alabama. This was the big news over the last couple of days. So the USFL will have use of protective stadium for up to 40 games plus 3 playoff games from about April 15th to July 3rd, 2022, at no cost, according to the non-binding Memorandum of Understanding between Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center, BJCC. And here's the interesting part. And the National Spring Football League, NSFL, which owns the USFL. This is according to AL.com. They're going to, some of it's going to be subsidized, public-private, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff like that. That's kind of what this article talks about, and how much revenue, this league could potentially bring to the city of Birmingham. That being said, that agreement with an entity called National Spring Football League, or NSFL, they own the rights to the USFL. We're not sure where Brian Woods and the Spring League are all in this, but reports are saying that $150 million from Fox is invested in this league, and they're all in. So we did a little trademark search, and we found that this actually hit the street, or hit the trademark office, on the 12th of October. So here are some of these are the team names that are listed under this company's trademark. There is no others. It's just these. It's fairly safe to assume that these are the cities of the USFL going forward. So you have the Memphis Showboats, Orlando Renegades, Jacksonville Bulls. Hey, Jags just won their first game. I was at Jacksonville Jaguars game. Oakland Invaders, Arizona Outlaws, Denver Gold. Matt Nagashima is going to be happy. He's a Denver guy. LA Express, Houston Gamblers, New Orleans Breakers, Birmingham Stallions. Now, it was said in the article that Birmingham is going to be one of this 8 teams, so that leaves 7 spots left. Who's going to be part of this? Tampa Bay Bandits, Michigan Panthers, Pittsburgh Maulers, Philadelphia Stars, New Jersey Generals. So when the league returns to play in April, it is for a 10-week run plus 3 weeks of playoff games. It will include 8 teams. Of course, we just said one of which is already the Birmingham Stallions. That leaves 7 other teams from the list above that need to be finalized. Some interesting notes to kind of narrow down the focus of the name of the teams. Florida has 3 teams, the Renegades, Bulls, and Bandits. Cities missing from this list include Dallas, your DC Defenders, DC team, Seattle, New York, even though you have New Jersey, and St. Louis. Those locations are part of the XFL 2.0 era that they had teams. Now, Fox Sports, which owns the league and its official broadcast partner, has reportedly committed $150 million over 3 years, so that's $50 million a year, to its new spring football venture. Interesting that they did not touch Seattle or St. Louis, 2 of the XFL's best franchise areas. They didn't touch New York, but New Jersey, okay. Florida, the XFL could be in Orlando. They could move to Jacksonville. Jacksonville Stadium is great. I would love to see USFL have a Jacksonville team. That would be kind of cool. LA is LA. What are you going to do about that? Houston Gamblers, you're going to have a place in Houston. Houston Roughnecks, they were a great team too. Interesting things, what's coming on there. Those are going to be your team names and your cities. Oakland Invaders, California. Maybe we could use them. But no, there's no San Diego in that list either. Also, what dropped the day before, and Matt Lyons had this one, is that the USFL updated their merchandise shop to the chagrin of a lot of football fans. Because if you take a look, that the merch is kind of cheap and weak. basically they're using Shopify. I think Reed. I mean, like that's it. That's your shirt. You're gonna pay for that shirt. Kind of like meh. Reed from Marcast, I believe, said that. Oh yeah, this is their site. It's just starting in the spring, and all they have is the merch shop, and their merch is basically the same merch shop that the Marcast uses, I believe. I would get some stuff. I kind of like this like hoodie, but I mean the gear seems kind of week. We'll see if more products are available or they'll clean this up. I'm not sure this was ready for prime time at the time it came out, but there you have it. The USFL. You have your cities. There's no logos. There is a USFL logo that we were able to find also in the trademark stuff. Let me pull that up. The USFL logo. I got this one. Let's see here. It was a really tiny logo, but you can, if you shrink it down, this is kind of what the USFL logo looks like as well. It's got the eagle with the football. This was all part of that trademark filing that we uncovered on XFL News Hub. So what do you think? What do you think of the cities? What do you think of the team names? Are you excited about the USFL? Are you excited? Are you going to have a team in your area? I mean, people were talking about San Antonio was a missed opportunity. St. Louis, Seattle. I mean, is the XFL potentially already got their claws? I mean, you know these guys talk. This world is small when it comes to these football leagues. Do you think that these guys have already talked and they already know, like, hey, they're going here, except for Houston? The Houston is the only one. Tampa, whatever. It's the Houston part. It's kind of interesting. We'll have to find out. The USFL has made its move. Now, remember, this Birmingham, Alabama, this is just a memorandum of understanding. This isn't any kind of signed agreement. And broskies, it is October 18th, 2021. You have a lot to turn around in a short period of time, but they've done this before with the Spring League, so I don't think it'll be a big issue. Whether they have draft, who knows how this kind of thing. It's not going to be as big hoopla as the XFL when the XFL relaunched, but it's certainly great to see that football players will have an opportunity starting in April, probably before that. You figure March they'll start training camps. So we got October, all right, let's say November, December, January, February, March. I mean, they basically got 5 months to get things in gear and ready to go, but this seems like a great agreement for not only the city of Birmingham, Alabama, but for the USFL. And that means trip to Birmingham for yours truly. Definitely have to go out to check out some games. I don't think it's too far from here. And we'll have to come in and check it out. Maybe hang out with some of you guys there in Birmingham to check out a USFL game.